I have to say this, for us as educators, is a golden opportunity COVID-19 have made for us. Why? It accelerated many of the ideas we've been advocating, and it is already happening. And in fact, the great advantage we have also that we've been pushed to test many of the tools that we have for the online. And we were also pushed our faculty to qualify them to be able to carry out all the different ways of delivering those online instructions. This is definitely an opportunity to revamp our education system. It is very unfortunate. You know, for the past, I would say 4 to 5 decades, we've been teaching the same way. We still, use the same old way of delivering instructions, and yet today we are dealing with the Z generation. They are more tech savvy, they are more engaged with the technology, and they find it very boring. And you can see that in the sad faces of our students when they come to campus and they are pushed and they are forced to do that. You don't find the excitement on them because we still teach them the same old way they've been there for the past 40 or 50 years. This is an opportunity where we are revamping all this education system. Online delivery is extremely, very critical, very effective and efficient way of delivering instructions. More importantly, it's more exciting for our students. Students, they don't need to be in their house. They can be anywhere, sitting in a Starbucks, sitting with their friends, in any place, open laptop, they have the instructor in front of them, fully engaged, they get into that mode of instruction. But more importantly, today, we are developing a generation of professional learners, I would say. Because learning is not only captured inside the classroom, like the old ways. Now we have an open space. We can access the best lecturers globally, anytime. How can I do that when we embed those kind of skills into our students and build them as a long-term professional learners? Campuses eventually will shrink. Why? Because campus will become more of an open lab space for activities. Students will come here for social activities more, eventually down the road. Down maybe the few years down. They will come here to meet their colleagues, to do some kind of practical sessions, engage in some entrepreneurial activities. Do we need this many classes? Maybe no. We will cut down on many of the extra classes that we have. So campuses will be re-engineered. Classes will shrink. More of an activities, more of a social gather for our students. And this is what the campus life should be more about. More of an extracurricular activities, more about students' clubs, more about things that I cannot do through typical traditional lectures. And those will benefit students from, students will benefit more from different type of skills, leadership skills, more of a technical skills. And this is what our future jobs are all about. Heavily based on skills. We know that jobs today depend 85% on skill based rather than knowledge based. Now, that's why lectures will move more online, shrink classes, redesign campuses, becoming more of an open lab space, more for social gather, more for technical skills that students will benefit, more for entrepreneurial skills. And this is how we foresee campuses will become. And this is why one of the key things, or one of the key pillars in HCT is that today we're thinking about how to graduate companies rather than just graduate students. How can we do that? Through this open lab space for entrepreneurial activities and students projects that are very innovative, convert them into a commercial product. There are two parts of it. The first part is the faculty, and we have been investing in our faculty for the past 2 years, in fact, with something we introduced called the e-teacher certification. And this has been happening in partnership with the Blackboard International, who've been providing all these different ways of professional development for our faculty to become certified e-teachers and to use those different technological tools in their pedagogy of teaching and learning. That's one part of it. Now the curriculum, because we serve the labor market directly, our programs are coupled with the professional certifications. All of our programs that we offer within HCT. So students, they don't just earn an academic degree, but also they earn a professional qualification recognized internationally, not only locally. And those programs are coupled together. through all of our delivery of our curriculum. But also that gives us an advantage that we continuously update our curriculum and continuously to meet the labor market expectation. But when we think about it, because we live in a very dynamic world, and we've seen how COVID-19 will impact not only education, but also many sectors, and we've already seen it. Many sectors are being impacted heavily, but also there is many sectors also they start to boom during this period, especially the ones related more to the online and e-commerce and so on. So what we strongly believe in HCT in developing what we call more of a persona 4.0. It's a character of a graduate. What's a persona 4.0? It has three main components. Digital persona, where students has to be really up to date with the different technology. Professional persona, they have a depth into their professional areas, into their majors, what they are. And entrepreneurial persona, where students can really spin out their business, not necessarily after they graduate, but down the road where they have developed the concept of entrepreneurial ways of thinking. And that's not only restricted to the, for example, students who study business. It's across the spectrum in all different majors. When you have a persona 4.0 graduate, all those skills embedded, digital, professional, and entrepreneurial, you qualify them for whatever jobs that does not yet exist, that we don't know about. So we don't teach them about specific today's need of certain knowledge or certain skills for the job market. We prepare our graduates down the road for many changes that is happening, for the many skills that is going to be introduced through the Persona 4.0 concept. Since its establishment more than 30 years ago, HCT has a different place as a leading applied education institution in this part of the world. And since the beginning, HCT always more of a practical, hands-on type of education system, and our graduates are recognized in the labor market, and the labor market tend to pick up our graduate as a choice number one because they have those kind of skills. But we know there is no fixed target. It's a moving target out there. The labor market continuously changes. The new jobs are being introduced. The technology impacting every sector in our business. Every different business they have is being impacted because of the technology. And to cope with that, it's been a challenge. But the advantage today, like we said, the Z generation, they are more equipped with the technology. But we as a faculty and educator, we still think traditional. But we are pushing our faculty, and it's more taken for us to go out of our comfort zone. And this is what makes us more to cope with those kind of needs. And as the future changes, and as the new jobs being introduced, and as the new skills and the new technologies being impacted, we need to cope with that. So we are not a traditional academic institution where we have our curriculum as engraved in stones and it is fixed for 20 years. No. Every year we review our curriculum, our learning outcomes, how can we deliver it, how can we excite students about learning, and how do we meet, more importantly, the labor market expectations. Because since we started with our new strategy for the past 4 or 5 years, we always have the 100% employability for our graduates. Our graduates must be employed, and it's our responsibility as HCT to secure those employment opportunities for our graduates. So as we are satisfying that kind of criterion, and this is the target, we put all of our program to meet that specific target.